Many older adults end their evenings with a piece of fruit, believing it to be a light and healthy choice. It feels comforting, like a simple routine that should help you rest better at night. But what if I told you that this very habit might be the hidden reason you wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, shuffling to the bathroom when your body should be enjoying deep, healing sleep? Over the years, I have met countless seniors, from New York to small towns in the Midwest, who were convinced their restless nights were caused by age, a weak bladder, or even prostate issues. Yet the surprising truth was sitting right there on their dinner plate. Tonight, I want to share something simple yet powerful. How eating a banana the right way, at the right time, can help you sleep peacefully through the night without those frustrating bathroom interruptions. This isn't about medication or complicated treatments. It's about using one of nature's most familiar foods in a way that works with your body, not against it. As a doctor who has spent decades listening to the struggles of seniors, I want to show you a gentle change that could truly restore your nights. As we grow older, many of us accept nighttime bathroom trips as something inevitable. You might laugh it off at first. Well, that's just part of being my age. But when you're waking 2, 3, even 4 times a night, it's no longer a small inconvenience. It becomes something that steals away your rest, leaves you groggy in the morning, and makes the simple joys of life, like gardening, meeting a friend for coffee, or walking the dog, so much harder because of fatigue. What most seniors don't realize is that these midnight interruptions are not always a sign of illness or weakness. Instead, they often come from a few natural changes inside the body, combined with everyday habits that nobody taught us to think twice about. Let's take a gentle, honest look at what is happening when seniors struggle with nighttime urination. Once you understand these changes, you'll see that your body isn't betraying you. It's simply shifting with age, and there are ways to work with it instead of against it. Decline in vasopressin hormone after 60. When we were younger, our bodies quietly looked after us in ways we never noticed. One of those ways was through a hormone called vasopressin. Think of it as your body's nighttime guardian. While you slept, vasopressin told your kidneys to slow down, filter less, and give your bladder a break so you could sleep through the night without interruptions. But after the age of 60, this hormone naturally begins to decline. It's not because you did something wrong, it's simply how the body changes over time. Without enough vasopressin, your kidneys don't get the message to rest. Instead, they keep working almost as hard at night as they do during the day. The result? Your bladder fills up too quickly, and before long, you're tossing aside the covers and making that familiar walk down the hall. Many older adults blame their prostate, their bladder, or even think something is failing inside. But in truth, part of the problem is this missing signal. The hormone that once whispered, "It's okay to rest," is now too quiet to be heard. Increased sensitivity of the bladder. Another change that sneaks up with age is how sensitive the bladder becomes. In your younger years, your bladder could comfortably hold about 400 to 500 milliliters of fluid, roughly 2 cups, before sending an urgent message to your brain. That meant you could drink water after dinner and still rest through the night without trouble. But in many seniors, this capacity shrinks dramatically. For some, it's as low as 150 milliliters, barely half a glass of water. That means even a small amount of urine can trigger the signal to wake up now. Your bladder isn't weaker. It's just become more sensitive. Imagine a smoke alarm that once only rang when there was a big fire, but now blares for just a little bit of smoke. That's what happens inside your body. The real frustration is that sometimes you wake up, walk to the bathroom, and realize it wasn't even much at all. Just a trickle. That's not failure. It's sensitivity. And the good news is that sensitivity can be calmed with small changes, such as adjusting when you drink fluids or training your bladder to hold just a little longer. Slower kidney filtration. Your kidneys, those 2 bean-shaped organs that work all day to filter blood and balance fluids, also change with age. The tiny filters inside them, called nephrons, begin to work more slowly. On the surface, that might sound like a good thing. slower kidneys should mean less urine, right? But the reality is more complicated. When you spend your day sitting or standing, fluid often gathers in the legs and ankles. You may have noticed mild swelling in your feet or shoes that feel tighter at the end of the day. That's water being held in the lower parts of your body. Then, when you lie down at night, gravity shifts. That fluid moves back into your bloodstream, and your kidneys suddenly get a larger load to process. It's like they're being handed a pile of paperwork at closing time. So even though kidney function slows with age, this late surge of fluid means your bladder fills up at the worst possible moment, just as you're trying to fall into a deep sleep. That's why many seniors notice they can go for hours without using the bathroom during the day, but still wake up multiple times at night. Gentle evening habits, like propping your legs up for 15 minutes before bed or taking a short walk after dinner, can ease this shift. They help move that fluid earlier, so your kidneys don't have to process it all while you're trying to rest. Late drinking and eating habits. For many, the evening meal is the highlight of the day. Maybe it's a bowl of warm soup, a cup of tea, or a small fruit for dessert. These choices feel light, healthy, and comforting. But here's the tricky part. Every sip and every bite of watery food adds to the bladder's workload. A soothing cup of chamomile tea at 9 o'clock feels innocent enough. Yet by midnight or 2 in the morning, that tea has worked its way through your system and is knocking at your bladder's door. The same goes for watery foods like watermelon, grapes, or even broth-based soups. They sneak in extra fluid just before bedtime, almost guaranteeing that you'll be up again when you should be resting. One retired teacher I spoke with told me she loved sipping herbal tea at night. It was her way to unwind. But it kept waking her at the same hour, night after night. When she simply moved her tea time to earlier in the evening, around 6 o'clock, she began sleeping 5 to 6 hours straight for the first time in years. Small shifts like that can make a big difference. The rule of thumb is simple. Enjoy most of your water and fluids earlier in the day, ideally before 4 in the afternoon. Keep the evenings light, with only small sips if you're thirsty. That way, your bladder can remain calm, and your body can finally rest. Impact on blood pressure and heart health. For some, nighttime urination is more than just an annoyance. It can become a real health risk. Every time you wake up, your body is jolted out of deep sleep. Your blood pressure, which should be steady and calm, spikes as you sit up quickly. For seniors with heart conditions, this repeated stress is like tapping on a fragile piece of glass. It creates tiny cracks that can grow over time. Then there's the risk of falls. Imagine waking in the dark, still groggy, and hurrying to the bathroom. Your balance isn't what it used to be, and one misstep can mean a dangerous fall. Hospitals see countless cases of nighttime falls linked to bathroom trips. Something as small as an unnecessary late-night glass of water can become the reason behind a broken hip or a frightening hospital visit. Interrupted sleep also affects the brain. Seniors who wake frequently often describe fuzzy mornings, slower thinking, or even mood swings. That's because your brain depends on deep, uninterrupted sleep to clear toxins, store memories, and reset for the next day. Without it, both the mind and body suffer quietly. So protecting sleep is about much more than comfort. It's about guarding your heart, your balance, and your independence. Every step you take to reduce nighttime urination is also a step toward protecting your health in the long run. Pulling it all together. When you look at these changes, declining vasopressin, a more sensitive bladder, slower kidneys, late-night habits, and the toll on blood pressure, it might feel overwhelming. But here's the truth. None of these changes mean your body is broken. They are simply signs of aging, natural shifts that happen to nearly everyone past 60. The empowering part is knowing that small adjustments can turn the tide. By drinking fluids earlier, limiting watery foods after dinner, moving gently before bed, and understanding how your body works, you can reclaim hours of precious, uninterrupted sleep. Nighttime urination doesn't have to define your later years. It doesn't have to steal your rest or your mornings. Once you see the bigger picture, you realize that your body is still capable of balance and peace. It just needs a little guidance. And that's exactly what we'll continue exploring together. For many older adults, nighttime trips to the bathroom feel like an unavoidable part of aging. You hear it from friends at church, neighbors at the senior center, even relatives your age. Well, that's just what happens when you get old. It's almost become a badge of time, something to be endured with a shrug and a sense of resignation. But here's the truth. Those restless nights aren't only about age. They are also shaped by small habits, choices made quietly each day that add up to restless nights. When we think of aging, we imagine our bodies slowly wearing down, losing strength, or becoming less dependable. But the body is more resilient than we often give it credit for. Even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your organs respond, adapt, and adjust to the way you treat them. And that's why the bathroom visits you've been blaming entirely on age may have more to do with routine. The timing of your water, the kind of foods you eat in the evening, or even how you move your body before bedtime. This is good news. Because if habits contribute to the problem, habits can also become the solution. You're not powerless. You're not condemned to spend the rest of your nights pacing the hallway, eyes half closed, wishing for morning to come faster. You can change the rhythm of your nights by making small, deliberate changes to the rhythm of your days. Think about water for a moment. Most of us grew up hearing we should drink plenty of fluids for good health. That advice hasn't changed, but the timing matters more as we age. If most of your daily water is sipped in the evening, over dinner, with tea before bed, or during late-night snacking, you're setting yourself up for interruptions. The bladder doesn't care how healthy your choice was. Whether it's chamomile tea, a glass of milk, or a bowl of broth, fluids are fluids. And after the age of 60, your body processes them differently. But shift that habit, take in the bulk of your water before mid-afternoon, and suddenly the picture changes. You'll still stay hydrated, which is crucial for heart, brain, and joint health, but you won't flood your bladder at the exact time when your body is begging for rest. It's a simple adjustment, and yet for many seniors, it is the turning point between restless nights and hours of uninterrupted sleep. Food plays a similar role. It's natural to believe that something light, like fruit, soup, or tea, is harmless in the evening. But light doesn't always mean easy for your bladder. A juicy orange or a sweet wedge of watermelon may refresh you, but those watery foods quietly fill the bladder just as you're settling in. And acidic fruits, in particular, irritate the sensitive bladder lining, making the urgency even stronger. In younger years, your body might have shrugged this off. At 70, it reacts differently. The encouraging news is that you don't have to give these foods up entirely. It's about moving them earlier in the day. Enjoy your fruit at lunch instead of after dinner. Savor a bowl of soup at midday instead of in the evening. That one simple shift helps calm the bladder during the hours you need it to rest. Movement is another hidden key. It may seem unrelated at first. What does a short walk after dinner have to do with waking at night? But remember what we discovered about fluid pooling in the legs. By gently moving, stretching, or even propping your legs up for a few minutes, you help your body release that fluid before bedtime. Instead of sending it all to the kidneys while you're trying to sleep, you give your body a head start. For some, just 15 minutes of light activity in the evening makes a noticeable difference in how many times they wake during the night. All these adjustments, earlier water, earlier fruit, gentle evening movement, are small. They don't require medicine, expensive equipment, or complicated schedules. They are subtle changes of timing and awareness. And yet they have the power to transform your nights. Imagine waking after 6 straight hours of peaceful rest, sunlight peeking through the curtains, and realizing you didn't stumble down the hallway even once. That is not a dream reserved for younger people. It is entirely possible for seniors who are willing to make these small, thoughtful changes. Perhaps you've convinced yourself that poor sleep is simply the cost of growing older. But when you look closer, you see the truth. Aging and habits dance together. Yes, the body changes after 60. As hormones decline, the bladder becomes more sensitive, kidneys shift their rhythm. But habits, your choices, decide how strongly those changes will shape your nights. Age opens the door, but your daily routine determines how wide that door swings. This understanding should not bring fear, it should bring hope. Because once you see that habits are part of the problem, you also see that habits can become your tools. No one can reverse the clock, but everyone can decide what they drink, when they eat, and how they move. Each decision is like casting a small vote for the kind of night you want to have. Enough of those votes, and your body begins to respond with gratitude. So where do you begin? Start with water. Notice when you drink it. Shift most of your intake to the first half of the day. Then look at your evening plate. Ask yourself, is this food watery, acidic, or heavy? If the answer is yes, try enjoying it earlier. Finally, add just a touch of evening movement, a walk around the block, stretching in the living room, or simply elevating your legs for a short while. None of these steps is dramatic, but together they send a powerful message to your body. Rest now. Sleep deeply. You are safe. When seniors embrace this perspective, something remarkable happens. The frustration of waking repeatedly begins to fade. Energy returns. Mornings feel lighter. And with that, daily life becomes more joyful. Because when you sleep well, you don't just rest. You recover, you heal, and you gain the strength to enjoy the little things that truly make life rich. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. A gentle direction forward. The road ahead isn't about strict rules or heavy restrictions. It's about balance and awareness. Think of it as learning to work with your body instead of against it. Rather than fighting aging, you learn to understand it. Instead of seeing nighttime urination as a curse, you see it as a signal. Your body asking for new rhythms and kinder habits. This shift in perspective is crucial. Because once you realize your choices matter, you no longer feel helpless. You no longer have to surrender your nights to endless trips down the hallway. Instead, you begin to see yourself as a partner with your own body, guiding it gently with the care it needs. And this is where the next step comes in. Looking at specific foods that can either soothe your bladder and nerves or irritate them. Among those foods, one humble fruit stands out as a surprising ally. Not only is it gentle and easy to digest, but it also carries nutrients that relax the muscles, calm the nerves, and prepare the mind for rest. In the next part, we will explore how something as simple as a banana, eaten the right way at the right time, can become a powerful tool for reclaiming your nights. For most of our lives, a banana is just a banana. We eat it at breakfast, slice it over cereal, or toss it into a lunch bag. It's simple, familiar, and nothing extraordinary. Yet as the body ages, this ordinary fruit quietly becomes a remarkable ally, especially for seniors who struggle with restless nights and endless bathroom trips. It may surprise you to learn that the very food you've taken for granted since childhood has the power to calm your bladder, soothe your nerves, and even encourage your brain to drift into deeper sleep. But that's exactly what a banana can do when eaten the right way at the right time. Let's take a closer look at why this humble fruit holds such promise for older adults who long for uninterrupted rest. Low acid, gentle on the bladder. One of the first reasons bananas stand out is that they are naturally low in acid. Many fruits that people commonly enjoy, like oranges, pineapples, or even fresh tomatoes, are high in acid. For a younger body, this may not matter much. But for someone in their 60s or 70s, a sensitive bladder can become easily irritated. Acidic foods sting the lining of the urinary tract, creating urgency signals even when the bladder is barely full. Think about those evenings when you finish dinner with a bowl of grapes or a slice of citrus. Hours later, you find yourself shuffling down the hallway in the dark, wondering why you can't make it through the night without waking. It may not be your age alone. It may be the acidity in those light foods. Bananas don't carry that problem. Their gentle, low-acid nature makes them far kinder to the bladder. Eating a ripe banana in the evening won't spark irritation or send false alarms to the brain. Instead, it offers calm. For many seniors, just switching from acidic fruits to a banana after dinner makes the difference between a night of broken sleep and one of steady rest. Rich in potassium, relaxing the bladder. The second gift bananas bring is their rich supply of potassium. A medium banana contains about 400 milligrams of this mineral, an amount just right for helping smooth muscles relax. And yes, the bladder itself is a muscle. When the bladder wall tenses unnecessarily, it sends premature messages that scream, "Empty now," even when there's not much inside. This is why so many seniors wake up and then discover they only pass a trickle of urine. It isn't that the bladder was full. It was simply too tight, too tense, too quick to sound the alarm. Potassium acts like a natural relaxant. It helps the bladder muscle soften, holding urine more comfortably and sending fewer urgent signals. Imagine loosening the grip of a fist. That's what potassium does inside your body. It allows the bladder to hold without panic. Beyond that, potassium also helps balance electrolytes and supports healthy blood pressure. For older adults managing heart health, this is an extra benefit. With one banana in the evening, you're not just soothing the bladder, you're also gently supporting your heart and circulation. Magnesium, calming nerves and easing stress. Sleep is never just about the bladder. Often, seniors lie awake because the mind won't settle. Thoughts swirl, worries creep in, and even when the body feels tired, the nervous system buzzes with restlessness. This is where magnesium, another mineral inside bananas, steps in. Magnesium is known as the calming mineral. It relaxes the nervous system, eases overactive nerve signals, and helps quiet the chatter that keeps many older adults awake. Inside the bladder, magnesium helps nerve pathways stop firing unnecessary alarms. Instead of constant signals that say, "Go now," the bladder nerves learn to stay calm until it's truly time. And throughout the rest of the body, magnesium soothes tension, reduces bedtime anxiety, and sets the stage for deeper sleep. Think about how many nights you've lain in bed staring at the ceiling, listening to the ticking clock. Magnesium works like a gentle hand on your shoulder, reminding both body and mind that it's safe to let go. Combined with potassium, it creates an inner calm that many seniors haven't felt in years. Tryptophan, supporting deep restorative sleep. Of all the natural gifts hidden in a banana, perhaps the most powerful is tryptophan. This amino acid is a building block for serotonin and melatonin, the chemicals in the brain that regulate mood and sleep. In younger years, the body naturally produced plenty of these chemicals. But after 60, levels decline. That's why many seniors describe their sleep as light or easily disturbed. The brain doesn't transition into deep, restorative stages as smoothly as it once did. By eating a banana in the evening, you provide your brain with the raw material it needs to create these calming chemicals. Serotonin lifts mood and helps you relax. Melatonin signals the brain that it's time to drift into sleep. Together, they guide you into longer, deeper cycles of rest. It's not about forcing sleep. It's about restoring the natural rhythm that age has quietly eroded. For seniors who wake at every creak of the house or passing car, this simple amino acid can mean the difference between tossing restlessly and sleeping soundly until morning. Easy to digest natural sugars. Another overlooked gift of bananas is how easy they are to digest. Heavy desserts, pastries, or even bread eaten late at night sit in the stomach like bricks. The digestive system works overtime, pressing on the bladder and disturbing sleep. Bananas, by contrast, offer natural sugars that digest quickly and gently. They satisfy a craving for something sweet without burdening the stomach. Instead of bloating or heartburn, they leave the body feeling light. That means less upward pressure on the bladder and fewer nighttime interruptions. Many seniors underestimate how much indigestion contributes to nighttime urination. A heavy meal before bed presses against the bladder even when it's not full. Replacing that late snack with a single ripe banana eases the digestive load, quiets the bladder, and lets the body slip into rest without interference. Lakshmi's story, real-life example. Stories often show us the truth better than science alone. Let me share one. Lakshmi was a retired schoolteacher, 68 years old, who lived in a bustling neighborhood. For years, she believed waking twice a night was simply part of aging. It was her new normal. She accepted the fatigue, the groggy mornings, and the crankiness that sometimes followed. Then she learned about the benefits of bananas. Skeptical but willing to try, she decided to make one small change. Every evening at 6:30, she ate a single ripe banana. No tea, no milk, nothing watery afterward, just the banana on its own. Within a week, Lakshmi noticed something extraordinary. For the first time in years, she slept 6 uninterrupted hours. She woke with energy, her legs felt lighter, and her mood lifted. She even joked to her neighbors that she felt 10 years younger. The beauty of her story is its simplicity. She didn't buy medicine, visit a specialist, or follow a complicated plan. She just added one banana at the right time. And her nights transformed. Pulling it all together. When you piece it together, the banana is no ordinary fruit. Its low acidity protects the bladder from irritation. Potassium relaxes muscle tension. It's magnesium that calms the nerves. Tryptophan restores the brain's natural sleep cycle. Its natural sugars keep digestion light. And real-life stories like Lakshmi's prove that these small gifts add up to something life-changing. For seniors, it isn't about chasing youth or denying age. It's about working with the body as it is now, listening to its needs, offering it what helps, and avoiding what harms. A banana isn't a miracle cure, but it is a gentle, natural tool that fits easily into daily life. Imagine this. Instead of dreading the night and its interruptions, you look forward to sleep. You wake not with exhaustion but with clarity, ready to greet the morning sun. That gift is within reach. And it may begin with nothing more than a simple, ripe banana. By now, you may be thinking, all right, I understand bananas are good for me, but how exactly should I eat them so they truly help my nights? That's a fair question. Because, like so many things in life, timing, moderation, and small details matter. Eating a banana in the wrong way, too late, too many, or with the wrong foods, can cancel out the very benefits you're hoping to gain. But when you enjoy it with care and intention, it becomes a gentle tool for better sleep. Let's walk through how to eat bananas the right way so they truly help you rest peacefully through the night. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Best time to eat. For most seniors, the sweet spot is early evening, between 5 and 6 o'clock, or about an hour after a light dinner. That gives your body enough time to digest and absorb the nutrients before bedtime. If you eat too late, say at 8 or 9, the digestion process overlaps with your sleep cycle, and your bladder may still be working when you want to rest. But when enjoyed earlier, the banana nourishes you without creating extra midnight interruptions. Think of it as setting the stage for sleep, not interfering with it. The right quantity. With bananas, more is not better. A single medium banana, about 120 to 150 grams, is enough. That's the right amount to provide potassium, magnesium, tryptophan, and natural sugars without weighing your stomach down. Some people believe 2 or 3 bananas will double the effect, but in reality, it often leads to heaviness, mild indigestion, or even extra trips to the bathroom. Remember, your goal is gentle support, not overload. Choosing the right ripeness. Not all bananas are equal when it comes to sleep. A perfectly ripe banana, yellow with just a few small brown spots, is ideal. If the banana is too green, it can be hard to digest, leading to gas or bloating that presses on the bladder. On the other hand, an overripe, mushy banana may cause a quick spike in blood sugar, which can disturb sleep later in the night. By choosing one that's ripe but firm, you give your body the best chance to benefit without side effects. Eating at the right temperature. Many seniors enjoy chilled fruit, especially in warm weather. But bananas taken straight from the refrigerator can irritate a sensitive bladder and slow down digestion. Cold foods don't always sit well in older stomachs. Instead, let your banana rest at room temperature for at least 30 minutes before eating. Warm, comfortable foods are easier on the digestive system and less likely to cause nighttime issues. Think of it as letting the fruit wake up to your body's natural warmth. Eat it alone, not with other foods. This may be the step most people overlook. Bananas are best eaten alone in the evening, not combined with milk, tea, or watery fruits like melon. Many households have a tradition of eating a banana with a glass of milk before bed, thinking it's nourishing. But this combination can backfire, adding excess fluid and stimulating the bladder. The same goes for pairing with tea or juicy fruits. Those extras quietly undo the benefit you're seeking. Treat your banana as a small, standalone evening gift to your body, not as part of a heavy mix. Smart pairings for added benefit. If you want variety, a handful of lightly roasted almonds, just 5 to 7 pieces, can be a smart companion. Almonds are rich in magnesium, which works hand in hand with the potassium in bananas to relax muscles and calm nerves. Together, they make evenings even more peaceful. But keep the portion modest. Too many nuts add heaviness, and the goal here is lightness and balance. Common mistakes to avoid. Even healthy foods can work against you if used the wrong way. Avoid eating bananas too late at night. Anything after 7:30 may interfere with sleep. Don't eat 2 or 3 at once, as it can lead to fullness and excess sugar. And skip the common habit of mixing bananas with cold milk, which not only causes heaviness but also creates more bladder activity. Awareness of these mistakes helps you get the full benefit without any unintended problems. Romesh's story, case study. To bring all of this together, let me share the story of Romesh, a 72-year-old man who thought he was doing everything right. For years, he ate a banana every night before bed, always with a glass of cold milk. He believed it would strengthen his body and help him sleep. Instead, he found himself waking 2 or 3 times a night, frustrated and tired every morning. When he finally learned the proper way, he made one small change. At 6:30 in the evening, he ate a single ripe banana on its own, at room temperature, without milk or watery foods afterward. The difference was striking. Within a week, his bathroom trips dropped from 3 times a night to once. Soon after, he was sleeping straight through until dawn. His mornings felt lighter, his mood brighter, and his daily walks became easier. Romesh's story reminds us that the how matters just as much as the what. A banana isn't magic on its own. It's about timing, ripeness, portion, and pairing. Get those right, and your nights can truly change. Closing thoughts. Eating bananas the right way is not about complicated diets or strict rules. It's about simple awareness, timing your snack earlier, choosing a ripe fruit, letting it warm to room temperature, and enjoying it on its own. These small steps create harmony in your body, letting your bladder rest, your nerves calm, and your mind drift into deeper sleep. Imagine the comfort of lying down, knowing you've given your body exactly what it needs, and waking to the soft light of morning without the weary shuffle of midnight bathroom trips. That peace is possible, and it begins with something as humble as a banana. When it comes to better sleep, what you don't eat in the evening can be just as important as what you do. Many seniors are surprised to learn that certain foods and drinks, even those that feel light or harmless, can quietly sabotage the bladder and lead to restless nights. The clock plays a key role here. After 7 in the evening, your body begins to shift into rest mode. Eating or drinking the wrong things during this time doesn't just add calories. It adds pressure on your bladder and interrupts your body's natural rhythm of sleep. Let's take a closer look at the foods and drinks that are best left for earlier in the day if you want to enjoy long, peaceful nights. Acidic fruits, oranges, pineapples, grapes. For many, fruit feels like the healthiest evening snack. And while fruit is certainly good for you, not all fruits are created equal when it comes to nighttime comfort. Citrus fruits like oranges, tropical choices like pineapple, and even a handful of grapes are naturally acidic. To a younger body, that acidity may pass unnoticed. But for seniors with a more sensitive bladder lining, acidic foods can irritate. That irritation sends signals of urgency, making the bladder act as if it's fuller than it is. Imagine eating a sweet slice of pineapple after dinner, thinking it's a light choice, only to find yourself waking at 2 in the morning with a sudden urge to go. The truth is, the acid itself may be the culprit. That doesn't mean you should give up these fruits forever. Just move them to earlier in the day. Enjoy your orange at breakfast, your pineapple with lunch, or your grapes as a midday snack. That way, their nutrition supports your body without disturbing your nights. Watery foods, watermelon, thin soups, raisin. Another evening trap is foods that seem light, but are loaded with water. Watermelon is a perfect example. It feels refreshing, hydrating, and low in calories. But because it's nearly all water, it fills the bladder quickly. The same is true for clear soups or broths and traditional dishes like raisin. They may comfort you at the dinner table, but hours later, they turn into an unwelcome bathroom call. Picture this. You finish your day with a bowl of soup, thinking it will help you sleep. Instead, at midnight, you're slipping out of bed, careful not to trip in the dark, because that light dinner filled your bladder. By shifting watery foods to lunchtime, you give your body plenty of hydration when it can handle it best, without overloading your system during the hours you most need rest. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Diuretic drinks, tea, coffee, green tea. Many seniors love their evening cup of tea or coffee. It's a comforting ritual, a way to end the day with warmth and familiarity. But what most don't realize is that these drinks are mild diuretics. That means they signal the kidneys to produce more urine, whether or not your body needs it. Even green tea, often thought of as gentle and healthy, can trigger extra urine production in the evening. The result? You may fall asleep at 10, but by 1 or 2, you're awake again, pulled out of precious deep sleep by your bladder. If you enjoy these drinks, keep them earlier in the day. Save your tea or coffee for the morning or early afternoon. In the evening, replace them with something calming but non-diuretic, like warm water or a soothing herbal infusion without caffeine. That small change protects your bladder and helps your nervous system wind down. Salty foods, papad, pickles, salty curries. Salt doesn't just add flavor, it also increases thirst. The more salty food you eat in the evening, the more water you'll feel compelled to drink afterward. And all that extra fluid has only one place to go, straight to the bladder while you're trying to sleep. For seniors, traditional salty sides like papad, crunchy pickles, or heavily seasoned curries can quietly cause nighttime urination by triggering this thirst cycle. You don't always notice it until later, when you wake up with urgency that you thought came from nowhere. The solution isn't to avoid salt completely, just to be mindful of when you eat it. Earlier in the day, your body can handle salt and water shifts more effectively. By dinner, aim for lighter seasoning and gentler flavors. Your heart, blood pressure, and bladder will all thank you. The just-in-case drink before bed. Finally, one of the most common habits among seniors, taking a full glass of water right before bed, just in case. It's an understandable instinct. You want to avoid waking up thirsty during the night. But ironically, this habit is one of the biggest culprits behind early bladder signals. A 70-year-old woman once told me she faithfully drank a glass of water every night before bed, believing it was healthy. Yet she never connected it to why she woke up every 2 to 3 hours. When she replaced that glass with just 2 small sips, she was able to sleep an extra 3 hours straight. Your body is remarkably wise. If you're truly thirsty during the night, you'll wake and drink. But most of the time, that just-in-case drink only creates extra work for your bladder. Trust your body, and give it the gift of minimal fluid right before bed. Bringing it together. Each of these foods and drinks, acidic fruits, watery snacks, diuretic teas, salty dishes, and even that bedtime glass of water, may seem harmless on their own. But after 7 in the evening, they all share the same effect. They put pressure on the bladder when it should be resting. By moving them earlier in the day, you create space for your body to relax. The changes are not drastic. You don't have to give up oranges forever or skip your favorite soup entirely. You simply need to honor your body's evening rhythm, giving it calm, gentle foods that work with sleep instead of against it. Picture the difference. One night filled with interruptions, stumbling half asleep to the bathroom, versus another where you rest deeply, wake at sunrise refreshed, and feel steady on your feet. That difference often comes down to these simple choices. By respecting the after 7 rule, you permit yourself to rest fully. And in return, your body offers you mornings filled with light, clarity, and energy. As we come to the end of this journey together, I hope you can see how something as humble as a banana can hold the power to change your nights. It isn't about magic, and it certainly isn't about quick fixes. It's about understanding the rhythms of your body, respecting them, and making small choices that work with you rather than against you. When eaten at the right time, in the right amount, and in the right way, a single ripe banana can help calm your bladder, relax your nerves, and guide your body toward the kind of deep, peaceful sleep you thought was long behind you. I want to encourage you to try this simple habit for just 3 days. Give yourself 1 ripe banana in the early evening, enjoyed on its own. Pay attention to how your nights feel, whether you wake less often, whether your sleep feels deeper, whether your mornings feel a little brighter. Notice not just the changes in your sleep, but the ripple effect on your energy, your mood, and your ability to savor the little joys of the day. If this message speaks to you, I invite you to share 1 small word in the comments below: hope. Because that word, your word, may give courage to another senior who is quietly struggling through sleepless nights. And if you found this helpful, please take a moment to like this video, share it with a friend or family member, and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can keep walking this path of gentle, science-backed wisdom, step by step. So tonight, may your body find rest, may your sleep be unbroken, and may your morning greet you with light, strength, and comfort. Sleep well, live well.